If you take this road and pass the old mill, you'll spot a little gray house perched on the hill. Its windows are shattered, like forgotten memories scattered to the winds, and the door clings desperately to its twisted frame. The front yard is an unruly jungle of weeds that whisper secrets to the night, mirrored by the backyard's wild defiance. The chimney, once proud, now lies in a sorrowful heap of rusty red dust, a monument to better days. In the yard, a single tree stands as a haunting sentinel, gnarled, blackened, and lifeless, its branches clawing at the sky in silent despair. That crumbling ruin was once the home of Ichabod and Imogen Korn, a couple said to have been driven to madness after the birth of their daughter. It was a storm-laden October night when she arrived, the kind of night when shadows dance and whispers ride the howling wind. Imogen's screams echoed through the house as lightning illuminated the world in blinding bursts, and at the stroke of midnight, Candace Korn was born. The old oak outside split in two as if the heavens themselves marked the occasion, with a chilling exclamation. At first glance, life seemed normal for the Korn family, if you ignored the growing congregation of black cats beneath their windows. At first, there were 2, then 4, and soon 13, their luminous eyes glowing like embers in the dark. No one knew where they came from, or why they circled Candace as though guarding an ancient secret. The town whispered but dared not act. Candace's first day of school was a trial by fire. Her name was the source of cruel laughter, and her bright orange dress became a target for jeers. The ringleader, a boy named Paul, led the charge with his biting taunt. "Nobody likes candy corn. Nobody at all." His laughter echoed with smug triumph, until that very night when his family's home was engulfed in flames. Though Paul and his kin escaped, the ruins left behind were more than a tragedy. They were a warning. The town dared not speak it aloud, but they suspected Candace, though no evidence ever came to light. Years passed, and as Candace grew, the unease surrounding her only deepened. On her 13th birthday, her father was taken away, committed to an asylum, and never seen again. Her mother, Imogen, succumbed to fits of erratic laughter, her once clear eyes clouded by a mind unraveling. Candace, however, remained an enigma, sweet smiles, soft words, and an air of innocence that clashed with the growing dread she inspired. "There's something about her that chills my bones," admitted Mrs. McGrath, the junior high math teacher, her voice trembling as rumors of Candace's eerie drawings spread among her peers. By the time Candace turned 22, she lived alone in the decrepit house on the hill. Her mother had joined her father in an asylum, and Candace's solitude only fueled the town's paranoia. Strange lights glowed from her windows at night, unnatural, vivid green that bathed the landscape in a ghastly hue. Cloaked figures, faces obscured by wide-brimmed hats, came and went without explanation. "We see them leave but never arrive," murmured Mr. Clemens, his flask trembling in his hand. The whispers of spells and rituals grew louder, and the town's patience began to wane. The breaking point came when Reverend Lemuel Bourne volunteered to confront Candace. He knocked on her door with calm resolve, but when he returned, his hair had turned stark white, and he fled the town, never to return. The figures in hats began appearing in the streets at night, moving with silent purpose, and the townsfolk barricaded themselves in fear. Whispers turned to shouts, and finally, a mob of 34 people, armed with fear and desperation, ascended the hill to confront her. As they gathered in her yard, the sky darkened, and an unnatural wind howled through the air. The crowd's courage faltered, but anger pushed them forward. A rock shattered a window, and from within the house came a scream so blood-curdling that even the bravest among them froze. What followed remains shrouded in mystery, for only 6 of the mob returned to town, their faces pale and their eyes filled with unspeakable horror. None would recount what happened, and soon the town emptied entirely, its people scattering far and wide, vowing never to speak of Candace Korn again. And so the gray house on the hill remains, a monument to the unknown. They say Candace still lives there, her presence as eternal and unyielding as the house itself. If you dare to venture close, consider this warning. Her story is a scar upon this town, and those who seek to uncover it risk losing far more than their nerve. Whatever secrets the house holds, they are best left undisturbed. For your sanity, for your soul, for your very life, leave candy corn alone.